Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Want to dive into a pretty insane story that has rolled out over the past couple of days and has set the audiophile world ablaze. Oh man, the audiophile world is blazing right now. It's blazing. All thanks to a Phoenix record store owner who goes by the name of Mike Esposito, who in a YouTube video claimed that the record company Mofi, or Mobile Fidelity, does not actually use analog master tapes as source material, purely as source material, in their very expensive reissues, which some of you may have seen in stores across the country or online, fetching very, very, very big bucks. Like, as far as the audiophile world goes, this company has been quite a gold standard for a long time, and apparently Mike got some inside information that they did not just base their recordings and their reissues off of original master tapes, that there was like a digital process involved. Mike does a second YouTube video where he talks with engineers and people who work at the company, and it pretty much comes out in the conversation that yes, Mike's inside information was in fact correct, and technically, you know, what the company advertises are its records just being based purely off of original master tapes. Yeah, that's not entirely true. That's kind of the long and the short of it right there. If you want to read into this story on the Washington Post or on Ultimate Guitar, we will link to it down below. But yeah, you know, the story itself is very interesting, pretty hilarious, and the finer details only add to the magic of the whole thing. Let me give my thoughts here on this whole situation. First thing off the bat that I would like to tell any of you guys, and I'm sure there's some of you in my audience because, you know, we're music nerds, and we got turntables, and we got amplifiers, and we got speakers, and we got certain cartridges with styluses just to make sure a certain thing sounds a certain way. You know, we wanted to. But one thing you should also know, I hope that you know, especially if you've been at this for a while, and if you don't know and you're not aware because maybe you're sort of new to this world and you're entering into it, the audiophile scene, audiophile equipment, stereo stuff, records, and stuff like that. There's a lot of snake oil on the market. There's a lot of stuff that is marked up to a ridiculous degree. There's a lot of stuff that offers to do a certain thing or sound a certain way when it in fact doesn't. And there are a lot of things that frankly are just kind of falsely advertised that you should be skeptical going into purchasing that thing, especially if the price is very high, because in many cases you may not be getting what you are paying for. But in another breath, I do kind of get it because, look, the quality of sound when it comes to music these days on the commercial market, especially in the streaming realm, is not great. It's nowhere near as good as it could be. This has created a demand among those of us who are more particular about the way our music sounds to get a more pure signal, get something that is a higher fidelity, higher quality. So a company has to step in and offer some alternative here. And of course, like, there's no real like hardcore regulation of any of this stuff. So of course, if a company is coming in and lying or cutting corners, it's upon the fans or guys like Mike over here to sort of expose the BS. And thankfully he did. Now, with that being said, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Mofi's records, even those that have a digital component to their process, sound great, sound amazing, are some of the best sounding records that you can get in the industry. I'm sure of that. I'm positive of that. But still, when you top your reissues with original master recording, bam, and that is not purely what you are selling, and only that when people buy a record from you guys, yeah, that's gonna make some people mad, because at that point it's not even really about the sound quality of the record. I mean, there's a lot of good sounding records, great sounding, amazing sounding records out there on the market these days that just sound mind-blowing, sound clean, sound clear, sound pristine. But again, when you promise your customers a purely analog experience and it's not that, even if it sounds good, you're gonna get some backlash when information like this comes out, because Jesus Christ, if any market of people are sticklers for a very particular there may have been other fields or products with which a company like Mofi could have gotten away with cutting the corners in the way that they have here, but the audiophile market is not one of those markets. Because again, while I'm sure the company's standards as far as audio quality are high, there's no fucking way on planet Earth that the customers of Mofi were going to be happy with learning this information when they did. So, you know what? In that sense, Mofi was not completely forward. They were not completely honest, and good on Mike for exposing them. Now, for those of you who are maybe not in too deep to the audiophile world and are maybe thinking about it or are just starting to enter it, let me just kind of tell you here. Look, there's a lot of options out there as far as listening to music these days, and hearing music with a sound quality that is not just, fine or tolerable, but actually quite good, be it in streaming or digital formats or physical and analog formats. The options are out there. All I'm saying is, do your research and don't just kind of be upsold on all this audiophile shit, because again, there's a lot of snake oil out there and it's not always worth the money, and it doesn't always enhance your experience truly and honestly. A lot of the stuff that's being sold and being offered is merely just a placebo for you to just kind of huff your own farts off of and think yeah, I'm hearing the best sound. I'm hearing the greatest sound. This is the best possible sound that anybody could hear, and I'm hearing it. Please, there's better stuff to spend your money on, especially in the music world. If this whole situation exposes anything, it's that, these companies, unless they are being caught by dudes like Mike, aren't being held to a certain kind of standard. They're just sort of doing their own thing and kind of promising that you're getting X, even though, you're getting Y instead, or just a slight variation of X. I think that's everything I have to say on this matter. If you have any thoughts to add, drop them in the comments. What do you think of this controversy? What do you think of audiophile stuff? Are you in that community? Let us know. Also, next to my head here is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, vinyl, music, sound, forever.